guess I'm looking for something, to kind of wow me, right? To get excited again.
And is it the business that's not lighting you up right now?
Yeah.
What's missing?
I want to do something different than the way I always do it. And I'm not sure what that is. I keep thinking maybe a little more marketing, more social media, things like that, because our company's not really doing a lot of that.
Okay.
Then I would need to educate myself, which would kind of be fun. And it would push me to learn something new.
So what's missing, I'm hearing, is challenge and learning. Like, I want to learn new things.
Yes, I think that is.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to podcast episode number 116. You're watching the Game On Girlfriend podcast. This is the third time where someone got to stop by my house. And you're about to watch Alex Goggin. She has been, I would say, a close friend now. She's been a client and a member of the Game On Girlfriend membership. She's also one of my star sprinters. She's been with me for a while now, and we were really talking about in this episode about how much she's grown and expanded. And I hope you guys really listen for what's changed for her, because she talks about the squirrel in her brain and how it would run around and tell her what to do, and that's really slowed down. And she talked about how she actually did that. So I hope you listen in for that. And the other thing that was happening with Alex when she came over is she just didn't care about any of her work goals. She's like, I don't care about any of these. None of them matter to me. I'm not excited. I don't even want to look at these anymore. So we talked about what would actually light her up. And it's interesting, as a coach, sometimes we lead people down the wrong path. And I totally did that at the beginning. You're going to hear me talk about a whole thing she could do. And she was like, yeah, that's nice, but, right? And it was really cool. Now she ended up saying maybe she could do that later, which was really neat. But when we got to what really mattered for her, it came down to feeling challenged and making sure she's consistently learning. And I want you to understand that's one of the major human drives that makes us feel alive. So as you listen to Alex experience this, watch how her face changes. She really got lit up and excited, and it was a very fun coaching session. So pop in those earphones and let's get to it. Alex, oh my gosh, you're in my house. How long have we known each other in the interwebs world?
Before COVID.
Right. We met once in person.
We did.
Right? And then the world stopped moving.
And then the world stopped moving. And then I found you again. And then coffee with Coach saved my life during the pandemic.
That really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Really.
I didn't know you felt that way.
Oh, yeah. I set my alarm every day to make sure that I'd be walking and I'd be like, no, I gotta go. I gotta listen to Coffee with Coach. It really, really helped me get through every day.
Oh, I'm so glad. I mean, I've watched you over the last year and a half, I want to say 2 years at this point, just explode in your own self-development. And I think also in the way that you approach your career and your life. How has it felt for you over the last year and a half? And then I want to dive into why I know you're here today.
I've grown a lot.
Yeah.
That squirrel that we used to talk about that was inside of my head, the squirrel's gone now.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know what a squirrel in your brain is, you would talk about the squirrel just running around grabbing your attention all day, right? Look over there, like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you feel like that slowed down?
I feel much calmer. Just kind of calm and collected and not so stressed out, which is almost a little weird because that squirrel was there for so long.
It was my friend. I named him Chuck. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I'm so happy that they're gone.
Can you articulate what changed?
I guess kind of accepting myself and my thoughts and that I'm not crazy.
Yeah. That's always nice to feel, yeah.
And stopping and really thinking things through. Learning how to kind of plan and block time and work on my calendar more. And schedule was a big thing that used to really stress me out. And people would constantly be rescheduling and things like that. And now I'm like, okay.
I hope you're really proud of that. I mean, that's a big deal. I think what you and I were talking about, we were talking about what we want to do here today together. It was really about you're not currently inspired by your business goals.
I think it's I want this big monumental change to happen. I've been doing the same thing forever and it works. But with COVID, it's hard to meet new people. People aren't going out. People aren't engaging. Basically, all the events that I had got pushed back. And I don't think it's forever. But in the meantime, it's frustrating and it's hard to kind of get motivated to try and meet new people when nobody's really meeting.
But let me ask you though, do you think us working together today to maybe develop new skills or look at what skills you might want to develop in order to meet new people, does that even seem interesting to you, or is there something else missing inside the career at this point?
Probably. I'm looking for something, to kind of wow me, right? To get excited again. It is exciting when you win a big job or, you strategize and you're working on a job for a long time. But there's not a lot of partnerships going on either anymore. It used to be, kind of working as a team with people. And I just feel like everybody's at home. And nobody really wants to engage. And
I want to talk to you, Alex. Like, I'm out of here. Like that kind of, is that kind of the
Yeah.
feeling? Okay, so a couple of things you said I think are really important. So you're not excited. I think that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I
It
don't
is,
care
but
about
then I
anything.
think maybe I haven't made the right goals, or maybe I haven't, I don't know. I feel like I'm always kind of looking for something bigger or better or whatever. And then sometimes I think the same is okay, right? Because it's worked for so long. Or I think, I have to learn all these new skills. Then I start talking to somebody else and I'm like, oh, I already know all that.
Oh, interesting.
With
Okay.
sales anyway.
With
Like,
sales,
when
right.
people are like, I'm listening to somebody teaching some sort of sales tips and I'm like, okay, that's like sales 101, right? I've been doing this a long time. I don't really need that. But then I think sometimes, boy, I would love to help others with
I'm
that.
glad you said that. You're like a sales expert. Like, can we be honest about that? I mean, seriously, how many years have you been doing this that you really sell?
20 something.
That's actually extraordinary. You have 20 years of experience in this. You are actually an expert in this field. Would it light you up to teach other people how to sell the way that you sell?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I do enjoy doing that.
And do people enjoy learning from you? Like, is that something you've seen in your career, being able to mentor people?
I think so. And I've done it quite a few times.
So this would have to be a virtual endeavor. Would that work for you or no?
That probably would, actually.
Really?
I don't really mind the virtual. At least I can see you, right? I like that you can actually have a...
Like facial expressions and
Yes,
stuff? Yes.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
it's kind of the best we can get. Some of it I don't mind at all. I mean, for time savers and things like that, like a lot of these meetings are a waste of time.
Shh, don't tell, right? Yeah. Driving to the place, right? Sitting there, waiting for everything to happen, and then the driving home, and you're like, oh dear, oh my, what
Exactly. I mean,
So-
one meeting can be a whole day.
That's right. I actually would also assert, given that you have been, and quote, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been successful during the pandemic, correct? Like, you've been able to keep things going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, can we tell people what you sell?
I sell commercial flooring.
Commercial flooring when no one's in the office. And she's been successful. Like, I really think you have something to teach people. And what do you think is unique about you that you bring to that whole world of training and teaching people about sales?
Well, to be honest with you, I really, sales is really not that hard. It's really all about...
Oh my goodness. Do you know how many people like collectively just pulled over their cars who were listening to this podcast? They were like, I'm sorry, did she say sales is not hard?
Yeah,
Did you
I
say it's
know,
so
and
hard
I
for
don't
me?
really understand that. Why? It's a lot of common sense, and it's a lot of customer service, and it's just being there and listening, taking care of your clients. They're first. You put them first. That's all the time.
That's what experts say about their field when everyone else is looking at them going, holy crap, how does she do that? You just displayed the level of your expertise in this area. How I would reframe that is, sales is really not that hard for me, right? And really own that, because for a lot of people it is. I happen to really love it too, but that's not the case for everybody. And I think when you recognize where your expertise is, and I think we've talked about this before, but I talk about, teaching a child to tie their shoelaces. I mean, they look at you like you're a freaking god. They're like, how? How do they do it right? And now every child learns how to tie a shoe. They grow up, they tie shoes 40, 50, 60, 70 times a week, and they don't even think about it.
Right.
That's where you are. But that doesn't mean there's not a 5-year-old somewhere going, and you do what now? And customer service and listening? What is that? Right? I
Yeah.
mean, and really owning that. Now, could you come up with a breakdown of what sales would be or how you would want to teach it to people?
Probably, yeah. I mean, for me, every single job is different. I can't even explain sometimes to people what I do because every job is different. Every client's different, and you have to kind of mold to that. So I think from that perspective, it's a little hard. But I think it's a lot of one-on-one with somebody, like really discussing their specific situation and giving them ideas.
Or guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the skill of listening that you've truly developed would make you really good at that. I'm being dead serious with you right now. Like, really, is this something that you would want to go start doing?
I think I would enjoy it, but it doesn't really help me with my business.
And is it the business that's not lighting you up right now?
Yeah.
What's missing?
I want to do something different than the way I always do it. And I'm not sure what that is. I keep thinking maybe a little more marketing, more social media, things like that, because our company's not really doing a lot of that.
Okay.
Then I would need to educate myself, which would kind of be fun. And it would push me to learn something new.
So what's missing, I'm hearing, is challenge and learning, right? Like I want to learn new things. Like that, is that part of why
Yes.
you're feeling so flat?
Yes, I think that is.
Okay.
But somehow I have to, whatever that is, I have to make it worthwhile, right? That it's going to bring me business.
Well, sure. I mean, hobbies are nice and all, but yes, of course, no, we were definitely wanted to come back. So let's say you decide to do a social media campaign, right? There's so many apps where you can change the floor, you can change the, like you can do that kind of stuff. And it's like, if you were to learn how to do something like that inside social media for your business, what would the results need to be to warrant that kind of study for you?
I want to show them what we do, what my company does, right? Because we're good. We have very skilled people and we do a great job. Sometimes when you're selling a service, people don't understand the importance of the service.
Believe me, I know.
They want the low bid, they want the cheapest, or they get sucked in by some salesperson that's not really
doesn't truly understand the entire process,
Right.
soup to nuts, and what they're going to go through with them.
Right.
Yeah. No, service is a different animal, right? It is harder to say, here's this invisible thing you're going to get that's going to blow your mind, but I can't really show it to you because you can't see it, right? It's a big deal. In order to show that, right, especially on social media, we show testimonials, we show before and afters, we talk to customers, we maybe video customers and talk about what's happened for them. And I think you have access to all of that, or at least you could.
I do, yeah.
Would that be a fun project for you inside
Actually,
a business?
that would be.
Yeah, you see, you look pretty happy right
Yeah.
now. It's a company that's been around for a while, the incredible integrity, right? It's a great founding story to help move the business online after such an extraordinary year where you guys have continued to be okay when no one's in commercials. I mean, it's like amazing to me. And that just shows the level of service that you guys have and also your ability to help people see what they'll gain by working with you. So if you can transfer that into an online space, I could absolutely see why that would be an exciting thing for you to do.
Yeah, I think that really would, actually. And then that stands on its own and you get business from it.
Absolutely. And it's also kind of a legacy for you inside the business as well. Like, hey, I took us from there to there.
That's a good point. And
Right?
I like that.
I know you.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that because I was thinking about this the other day, the whole kind of what lights me up. And it's really never been money. I mean, for me, it's like winning a big job and the money comes. But for me, it's never been the money. It was always more about the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got opportunities. I think Instagram would be great for some, right? Understanding that. But I think also, obviously, LinkedIn and YouTube, believe it or not, I think would be really great for you guys, because as long as you're there to capture that interaction, chances are you'll win and bring them into a company that offers service and actual support during a process that can be really stressful.
Right.
Feel better about this?
I do.
Oh, yay,
Yeah,
there's a smile. I saw a whole smile.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited now.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, where do I start?
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah, don't worry about that part. That's everybody's favorite. Sarah, just give me the steps.
I know.
And then I'll say, go look them up. You'll find them. I'm not worried about that part. But really, I think I would actually, for you, because I do want to give you some steps, is you have such great relationships with your existing and past clients and customers, is I would ask them which social media platforms they're on.
Yeah.
And what are you looking at and where are you? And they'll answer you because they love you. And then you start there and then you learn what's effective on those platforms. So we got social media.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have a challenge because we were pretty clear challenge was missing for you. Yeah. Are there any other aspects of your life and or business where you were feeling that same lack of excitement?
Yes, as a matter of fact. I'm still kind of looking for that hobby.
Oh, that's right. We've talked about that for a while. So you want something that, is it like an artsy outlet? Is it a spiritual outlet? Is it a political outlet, like a change, social impact outlet? Are you looking for something to fulfill you and take you to the next level of life? Like, what is the
Yes,
weight?
I am.
Yes, please take me to the next level of life.
I want to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think, when I retire, a long way off.
Yeah, 300 years from now. Yes.
I think I'll want to do something else. I have something that I enjoy, whether it's money making or not. I mean, time is an issue.
You meaning you feel like you don't have
job
enough?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have enough time for a hobby?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do have hobbies, by the way. You just don't call them that.
True, because I think, I don't know. I feel weird about reading a book. It's not really a hobby.
Oh my God. Huh? Do you know how many people don't read books anymore? It makes me want, I could weep about how many people don't read books anymore. And you actually take the time to sit down and get yourself cozy and read. Mm-hmm. That's a skill, by the way, right? That you really do this. And I think that's so great. It's okay if reading is your hobby right now. Can I just give you permission to have that be enough? Okay, thanks. You're welcome.
Yes.
No, but that's enough. I mean, it really is. It's okay for you to have that be a hobby right now. And I think when we started off this conversation and I was, trying to get from you what would actually make you excited, I do think you could look at what it is to teach and train for you. And it doesn't even have to be sales, but I will tell you,
Right.
every time you talk about it, your eyes light up and your face changes. And that's just something to pay attention to. It doesn't mean that's what you have to go do. But if you're noticing that there's something you're constantly kind of like really enjoying on, like, oh, that would be cool. Oh, that would be cool. Oh, that would be cool. You're having that idea for a reason. Listen, if you want to retire and read all the books in the whole world, you could. Like, we can do that too. Like, that's enough.
Right.
As long as you feel fulfilled. And that's no one else's call to make but yours. And I think there's some sort of pressure you put on yourself to be more something in your hobby. And I'd love to know what that is for you.
There is, I know. I was just thinking that. I probably would enjoy that. I think what I don't want to do is necessarily do it with people that are in my business. I think I sometimes think about, as my group, like internally, I've done that. I don't really want to do that. It needs to be kind of a broader audience, I think.
Yeah, but you can teach people how to sell anything.
Right.
Right? I mean, that's the whole deal. And that would be something you could absolutely do if you feel that that's an expansive contribution for you to make.
Right. No, it's interesting that you say that, because even sometimes with people that are on a sprint, they talk about things and I kind of want to
I want to teach you how to sell.
I do. And then I'm thinking, okay, just, stay in your lane. No one's asked you, so just be quiet.
Nobody asked me. Nobody asked you how to sell, Alex.
But, right, I see people getting stuck on things that are simple for me. Yes.
The expert in the room.
Right.
Yes. So you can see there's a need out there, and I don't know that we necessarily want to call that a hobby. I mean, it could be. It absolutely could be that this is something you do. It could be something you do pro bono. It could be something you do in communities where people don't have access to this kind of education, or they couldn't afford it. It could be something you do to the upper C-suite of every great, huge corporation on the planet. There's the sky's the limit for you to sort of explore. I have this extraordinary skill. The idea of training people makes me really happy. Who do I want to spend my time with? Who would I want to teach this to? Who would this help? And actually seeing what comes up for you. I think this idea that you love to be challenged, you love to learn new things, and I actually think you learning the social media piece for your business would end up being a skill that you end up using later on, if that's what you decided to do with it. But I think there's sort of I can sort of see how all these pieces fit together for you, and having you feel more alive and more excited and a little bit more challenged in what you're doing.
Yeah, I would. I mean, actually, it all sounds really good. I never really thought about it before. But I know I enjoy it. We had, trainee people coming in, and I really enjoyed working with them and training them. And, I'm still close to them today, and we talk about it all the time.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and I think what's really cool about what you do too, what you just said is so amazing. Even the trainees are still your friends and they still want to hang out with you and they still love spending time with you. That is not the norm. I think the fact that you have such a great track record with this, Alex, I think there's a lot you can do with this as long as you feel excited by it.
I do. I think I just, I constantly want to learn. I'm constantly kind of looking for something to, my father makes fun of me with all my, self-help books that I have all over the house.
Well, they're working. I mean, I literally,
I enjoy it though.
You,
I really enjoy it.
You apply it. Right,
Yeah.
and I think that's really big. There's so many people who are book collectors, or I talk about course collectors, or even information collectors. That's why I'm never afraid to put everything online, because I'm like, if you're not going to do it until you call me, unless you're Alex, because Alex is like, I will read it and I will apply. It's this really profound thing you do, and I hope you just don't skip over that, because it is really cool. That's why I'm not worried about you learning social media. You just apply so quickly, and that's extraordinary. Not everybody does that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Are you feeling more excited about?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. To go home and start my plan.
Yeah, girl.
My new book out.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Anyway, Alex, thank you so much for coming today. I'm so glad you were on the show.
I appreciate it so much.